Hey guys, in my last video I talked about the 5 goals I set for 2023, which encompass different categories of my life, and one of those categories is ice skating. And so my ice skating goal is to be able to do 3 different types of change foot spins next year, and also my axel. And the 3 different types of change spins I want to do are a regular scratch spin, change foot spin, sit spin, change foot spin, and a change foot camel spin. So currently I can already do my forward scratch spin, so I've been working the back scratch spin individually in parts and then putting them together. And then I still cannot consistently do a regular forward sit spin, so I need to learn how to do that first. And then I'm also learning how to do a forward camel spin before I learn the back spin part of it. But in today's video, I'm going to show you where I'm starting from before I start working on improving, so that as I put out progress videos and practice videos, you'll be able to see how I've improved. So without further ado, let's get started. So here is my regular forward scratch spin. It's pretty consistent. This one's pretty centered. Not all of them are centered, but it's getting there. They're pretty consistent in how I do them, I guess. So now I'm working on my back scratch spin, and I like to work on these individually so that I can put them together later. But this is the scratch spin entrance. This is like the final stage of doing a back scratch spin, and for some reason this one is easier for me than doing it from a standstill. So here's a few different clips of that. I still have struggle with the exit, as you can see there. I'm supposed to lift my leg and then extend out, but for some reason I just stop after I extend my leg. And this is a different way of going into a scratch spin, and it's from a standstill, but I have my left toe pick in the ice. I know sometimes you can't see that because my feet are cut off, but my left toe pick is in the ice, and then I kind of do like a 3 turn into it. And then this one is a back swizzle entrance, which is the entrance I would be doing in a change foot spin. This one is by far the hardest for me, but I did figure out a little trick. If I kind of squeeze when my left leg gets around to the side, if I squeeze inwards, then it helps me get centered. So I was able to actually rotate several rotations. And then I started putting them together. So I did the back scratch first, and then went into a forward scratch spin, which does travel quite a lot at this point. And then here I put all 3 together. So I did the forward spin, back spin, and then the forward spin again. And I found it pretty hard to go into the back spin right after doing a forward spin. So I definitely traveled a lot. Yeah, that one didn't work. Oh, okay. I included some shots that I think I did really well on, and also ones that I think I didn't do so well on, just so you can kind of get an idea of how I actually skate. This one is where I actually added the full regular 3 back crossover and 3 turn entrance into the scratch spin instead of from a standstill. And I went out of frame there. It's very not centered. So now I'm practicing my camel spin because I do want to learn how to do a back camel spin, like a change foot camel spin. I realized that I was rushing into it before my knee made a full circle. So I need to wait until my leg makes a full circle while my knee is bent, and then slowly come up rather than rushing into it. And I actually do that a few times. After watching the recording of myself, I went and practiced it like that, and was actually able to hold it for a few more rotations, as you can see here. That was one of the best I did during this session. And then I believe this one, yeah. So This one I held my edge longer before I went up into the camel. And now I'm practicing that slow rise up one last time, and then I went into practicing my layback after, which wasn't that great. Here's my sit spin, because I want to learn to do a change foot sit spin. I realized from watching these videos that my free leg is way too bent. It's like very bent, if you can see that. And also I'm not sitting at a 90-degree angle. Sometimes I have my leg up too high, and then sometimes my bottom is way too low. And then here I tried to actually grab my leg, which you can see my bottom was too low and my leg was too high, so it's just not stable, and I kept falling because of that. I also have a bad habit of leaning to one side, which also puts me off balance. This one was probably one of the best ones until I fell. There's actually 2 entrances that I've been practicing going into my sit spin. One of them is like, well, actually, I guess you could say 3 of them, so that one's a 3-turn entrance. There is a crossover entrance, which I practice sometimes, but there's 2 main things. The one I just did, I kind of like stood up straight first and then went down into it, which I think looks really cool, and that's actually the coolest one in my opinion. And then there's one like this, where I just went straight into the sit spin. Alright, so that concludes today's video. I didn't show my axle, I'll have to do that in a separate video, but that was the starting point for my 3 different types of change foot spins. I noticed some things that I need to work on just from watching the recording myself. I think it was actually very helpful to see myself spinning and what I need to work on, such as my position, my sit spin. It needs to be more of a 90-degree angle, and then my leg needs to be straighter. And then also my camel spin, I need to hold my edge longer before going into it. So I did learn some valuable things from doing this video, and I hope that you enjoyed watching, and I'm excited to progress and show you my progress. And so stay tuned for future videos, off-ice practice and my axle progress, and also the other goals that I'm going to be working on, which you can watch in my last video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and Merry Christmas if I don't see you until then.